Hi, everyone. My name is Caleb Dukes, and I'm the producer of this stage reading of Muse by Rice alum Abby Sledge, who was the runner up of the Rice Players' new Playfest in fall 2019. If you're considering or are in the process of writing a play, keep an eye out for the Rice Players' Playfest next year. Also, look out for other opportunities to get involved with the Rice Players next semester through our Facebook page. Fair warning, this play has mentions of sexual assault. Please keep your health in mind when watching and always feel free to reach out to Rice's Wellbeing Center, website linked in the description below. Without further ado, here is Abby Sledge's Muse, directed by Lydia Wang.
Aphrodite, goddess of love and beauty, holds a red anemone flower and gazes at it, mournfully contemplative. Behind her, the chorus watches.
What have I done?
You've done many things, Aphrodite.
That's not what I meant.
That is what you asked.
Asked and answered, I suppose.
Do you not know your own deeds, O goddess of love?
Oh, I know them well.
Yet you ask what you have done.
I think you know what I meant. But if you are so ready to answer, you must have something you wish to say. Tell me.
Something to say? No.
Only tales to tell. You must know the stories that are told about you.
Enlighten me.
The Muses sing of the radiant Aphrodite, chosen by Paris as the most beautiful of the goddesses.
Oh, yes. This one I know.
As a reward, you promised him Helen, the most beautiful mortal woman in the world, as his wife.
I remember.
A delicate situation to promise the hand of a woman who's already married.
It was a mistake.
Oh, Helen of Troy, the woman who launched 1,000 ships, the woman who started a decade of war.
But then, it was not really Helen who started it, was it?
Many would blame Paris.
Many do not know why Paris laid claim on Helen to begin with.
Enough.
It was because of your promised reward that he felt entitled.
Enough about Troy. Let us speak of it no further.
Then should we speak of Adonis?
Must we?
There are so many stories about you and your powers of love. But so few speak of your own infatuations.
It was not mine.
Of course, your son's arrow of love pricked you, or so you have claimed.
That is what happened.
And such a simple thing as one of Eros's love arrows truly touched the heart of a woman who reigns over all romance.
I have the power to start the blossom of love. I am not so powerful that I can stop that flower from blooming once it is rooted in the heart. Even my own.
It was with this love in your heart that you caught him in your eyes.
Adonis.
And he was beautiful.
Oh, he was beautiful.
And you loved him.
He was the most beautiful man I have ever seen, I think.
Many would agree.
And yes, consequences were terrible, but it was judged that I am the most beautiful of all the goddesses.
Yes, that is what Paris decided.
Adonis could not have me.
No.
I still can't understand.
What fairest Aphrodite?
Why would he refuse me?
May no man refuse you?
Anyone may refuse me, but before him, no one ever had.
Ah, it was the first to refuse you.
Was it something I did? Something I said?
May you be refused only with particular cause?
No. No, he didn't need a reason. His heart was his own to give.
Is it not yours to decide, O goddess of love, whose heart may belong to whom?
That is not always within my power.
What is?
I can see into the hearts of mortals if I choose, and plant love in their hearts if I desire. But if the fates have other designs for them, it will not last. My purpose is only to serve their plan. Who gods and mortals love is only for the fates to decide.
But
What do you decide?
I...
You did not decide to love Adonis.
No.
He did not decide to love you.
No. Why? Why wouldn't he love me?
You said he needed no reason.
I'm only trying to understand. As you said, there are many stories about me, and this is not how they usually go. Why was he different from all the others?
surely you have heard that, beautiful as he was, Adonis had no love for beauty.
No love for beauty.
No. Did you not look into his heart, as you have the power to do?
It feels foolish now. It didn't seem fair.
It was ever fair when a god loves a mortal.
Immortal.
No. This. I knew that if I found that he didn't love me, I would stop at nothing to make him. I can't change the fate's design any more than he could, but I would have tried.
You wouldn't have failed.
Yes. I think I was afraid, Afraid of what I might find. That was enough to keep me from looking.
Do you regret that you did not look?
I don't know. What I have
They
found.
say that Adonis never loved any man or woman.
Never.
He loved only the hunt. That was enough to fill his heart. He needed no companion.
And that... Maybe that's why. Oh, he could never have loved me.
No,
Chang,
Aphrodite. His love was never for you.
And I couldn't have saved him.
She holds the flower tightly.
No one would have been enough to draw him away from his hunt.
In the moment that he was struck down by that boar, all I could feel that it was my fault.
Why?
I thought... All I could think was that I should have tried harder to make him love me. Fates or no fates. But even for me, with all my power, maybe something that seemed unimportant could have made a difference. Maybe if I had worn a different dress, maybe if I had introduced myself differently. Maybe...
Maybe.
Died in my arms, you know. As he died, the arrow's magic faded away. My love for him withered to nothing, like a rose left to the frost. And yet, whether I loved him or not, how could I not feel responsible for his death? If he had only let me draw him from his pursuit.
But
But he did not.
He wouldn't.
It was not what the fates intended.
Couldn't love me. And he died. He died, and now only this anemone remains to remember him. It sprouted from my tears when I wept for his loss. Oh, why should a flower grow when love died?
Why should a flower not grow when false love turned to true sorrow?
Wasn't enough. I am a goddess and love is my domain, but my love was not enough. My love didn't save him.
Your love did not kill him.
No. False or true, fated or not, my love has no power over life or death.
Or Adonis.
No. I had no control over this story of mine. The story of Adonis, no matter how much I wanted it. No matter what I want.
What do you want?
I want...
What do you want, goddess of love?
I want to know he doesn't blame me.
There's no way for you to know.
You cannot ask him now.
What do you want, Aphrodite?
I didn't really love him, but oh, I wish he weren't gone.
He is.
Oh, but he is. All I can do is mourn for him.
Mourn for Adonis.
Can't take this any longer. You only speak in riddles, round and round. No, I won't find anything useful here. I need someone who will actually help me. What am I doing? I should have gone to Hephaestus to begin with.
You would seek out your husband?
While you mourn a man you loved only hours ago?
Hephaestus loves me. He will understand when I explain what Eros did. He knows what powers I have, the things they can and cannot do.
Hephaestus is not nearly so beautiful as Adonis.
No. No one would ever call my husband beautiful. But he treasures me. More than any of his precious stones and metals. More than the forge, his own domain. Who could I love better than one who loves me so ardently?
Have you looked into his heart to know this so confidently?
No. I don't need to know what the fates have decided to know my husband's heart. He is the only one who sees past my pretty face and actually listens to me. He doesn't try to solve my problems for me like men always try to, but he helps. He is dearer to me than any other man could ever be.
But you do not know if he is who the fates have chosen for you.
And I never will. Maybe it isn't meant to be. But if I can have no other control, if my only power is one the fates can overrule, I will have this one thing that I have chosen for myself. This one thing will be mine, and mine alone.
So, you love Hephaestus?
Yes. Yes, I will go to my husband. No more questions and accusations. I know he will understand.
Persephone, a young goddess, sits pensively beneath a pomegranate tree. A few pomegranates lie scattered on the ground.
Persephone, daughter of Demeter.
You are so far from home.
You have followed the Lord of the Underworld to the land of the dead.
Where gods and mortals alike fear to tread.
Yes, I have followed Hades. I love him and I would not be parted from him.
But how long do you think you will be able to stay?
Why should I leave?
Your mother
seeks you.
Yes, I did not doubt that she would.
She is
She has
gone
gone
to
to
Zeus.
Oh,
She knows you are here.
She wants you returned to her.
Zeus agrees.
of course.
What will you do?
My mother wants me to go back. Zeus demands that I obey her.
So you will return to her?
I see no other option.
Will you put your time in the underworld behind you, as though it never happened?
What? No.
And yet you are ready to leave. Could it be that, in truth, you wish to go back?
Speak of something you don't understand.
You miss the fields, the flowers, the growing things.
You know nothing.
What holds you here?
You say you love Hades, and yet, in your heart, perhaps you want to leave him.
Stop.
Does he mean anything to you?
Be quiet! How dare you?
Is this not the truth?
Of course not.
Hades truly has your love?
I love him more truly than anything I have ever known.
Then how can you leave him?
I don't want to, but to deny my mother's wishes?
Did you not do so when you came to the underworld in the first place?
I did.
Why can you not disobey her again?
This time she has Zeus on her side.
And?
And that changes everything. Yes, my mother is powerful, more powerful than I am. But Zeus? He is the king of the gods, more powerful than any of us. His lightning bolt could strike me down where I stand, even here, if I go against his wishes.
You think Zeus cares so much about your choices?
I think my mother can be very convincing.
And your mother has Zeus by her side.
Yes.
Do you not have Hades by yours?
I don't know.
You claim that you love him.
I do.
You doubt that he loves you.
No.
No?
I know that he loves me, or he wouldn't have risked upsetting my mother in the first place. She controls the harvest, and the harvest has so much impact on how many live or die. As the Lord of the Dead, he needs her on his side.
And yet, he chose to bring you to his domain.
Knowing it might anger her.
Yes, he did.
So, you are confident that he loves you?
I am.
Why, then, do you doubt that he would support you?
I don't doubt that Hades loves me. But Zeus is so powerful, and his brother besides. Risking my mother's disapproval is one thing. Risking Zeus's wrath is something else.
You do not think he would dare?
No, I think he would.
Will you not fight for your love, then, with Hades fighting with you?
I don't want him to.
You do not want Hades to fight for you?
No,
Why?
I don't want him to take that risk.
Is your love not important enough to take risks for?
If my mother wasn't one of the Olympians, if I were mortal even, if my life wasn't so tied up with so many important stories, but it is. The fates create the fabric of all our lives, and I am a single thread in the tapestry they weave. Not a bright one or a thick one, nothing that would catch your eye looking at it.
But any thread pulled from a tapestry might unravel it entirely.
Exactly. This tapestry is too important for them to take chances.
And your love?
Your love?
I don't have the power to overrule the fates. If our love is destined, we will find our way to each other again, even if I leave today. If it is not destined,
If it is not destined,
if it isn't what the fates intend, it doesn't matter if Hades and I could muster the entire pantheon to aid us. Fighting my mother and Zeus, if the fates are on their side, would only turn a story of forbidden love into an epic tragedy to rival Achilles and Patroclus.
So, you will not fight them?
No. I would rather live alone for the rest of my days than know I brought Hades to harm.
your mother awaits then.
You aren't wrong. I can only delay so long before she tries to storm the underworld itself looking for me.
Soberly, Persephone gazes at the pomegranate. She idly picks up a pomegranate and lays on the sea.
Have caution, beloved Persephone.
For those who eat the food of the underworld are bound to it.
Bound?
For every seed of a pomegranate eaten,
1 month out of the year must be spent in the land of the dead.
To eat 12 seeds is to remain
Remain
forever.
forever.
Persephone looks up sharply and looks back at the pomegranate in her hands.
Maybe I do have the power. Maybe this time.
Persephone turns upstage, considering the pomegranate. After a long moment, she passes the pomegranate to the chorus and exits. The chorus investigates the pomegranate.
6 seeds
strong.
gone.
Athena, goddess of wisdom, stands on stage with the chorus.
Why is it
Is it-
Athena.
Why do you sigh so heavily?
Once again, you have taught a lesson to a spiteful mortal.
what cause do you have for grief?
I mourn for what might have been.
What might have been?
Arachne was a skilled weaver. Her talents nearly match my own.
Can a mortal truly match a god?
No, of course not. But she came close. And she was so young. If she'd only had more time to learn.
It was your own hand that stole that time from her.
It's already been said. A mortal cannot match a god.
She claimed that she could.
Yes.
And
So
so
she
she
had
had
to be
punished.
punished.
Yes.
Did she?
I had no choice.
No?
If she had only bragged that she was more skilled than me, and how dare she say such a thing when I'm the one who taught her the very skills she bragged about?
She was proud.
Too proud. But if that had been all, I challenged her to a contest of skills, and that would have been enough. Enough to show her that her boasts came from pride and not from truth.
She did worse.
She used that contest to shame the gods.
She wove a tapestry showing Zeus's infidelity.
To say that it was inaccurate would be dishonest. But such an insult cannot be ignored.
Cannot?
Must not.
Why not?
It is the will of the fates.
Do the
The
fates
fates
truly
control
control such a small thing?
Not exactly. The fates know what must come to pass for the future to fall out as it should. They do not control everything, but in certain things, the most terrible wars, the feats of great heroes, the deeds of powerful gods, they exert their influence.
Is the work of Arachne of such importance?
No, but it was the fates who decided that God should have more power and rule over mortals. To challenge that decision, to challenge the gods, risks damaging the future the fates worked so hard to preserve. Arachne's tapestry drew attention to behavior of the gods the mortals should not think on too deeply.
And so, Arachne has been made into nothing more than a spider.
The wrath of the fates would have been far harsher than mine. At least now she can weave forever, more skillfully than any mortal woman could ever dream.
If all is balanced, all just, why do you still sigh?
Why must I always prove the worth of the gods?
Always?
Arachne, Medusa. Oh, poor Medusa.
Poor Medusa.
Medusa.
Never again can she gaze upon another soul.
Or they will turn to stone.
I do not want to speak of Medusa.
Challenges must be answered.
And so, I answer them.
Arachne, Medusa,
Why must I always prove my worth?
always?
From the moment I was born, it was foretold that if my mother, Metis, bore Zeus a son, he would overthrow Zeus as Zeus overthrew his father, Kronos. Zeus schemed and plotted endlessly when he discovered she was pregnant. He tricked her into becoming a fly and swallowed her rather than allow the child to be born.
Could not risk such a rebellion.
Imagine his surprise when I was born anyway and sprang fully grown from his skull. And yet, when I was born, when my mother bore a daughter, all his fear vanished.
You were not a son.
Not a son, no. And so how could there be any danger? A daughter would never overthrow her father.
You have not. Yet.
No. No, and I won't.
You will not. Why should Zeus believe you would?
He doesn't even wonder whether I would, because he doesn't believe that I could.
Could you?
As I said, I won't. So it doesn't matter.
Could you?
Of course I could. My father throws lightning bolts at his problems. Surely I, wisest of all the gods, could imagine a more efficient solution. One that would surmount even such a one as Zeus.
But no one should.
No,
You could prove it to them.
no. No, I couldn't. Even if I defeated Zeus. It was prophesied that Zeus would defeat Kronos, and he did, because the fates made it so. It was prophesied that a son of Medes would defeat Zeus. And he has not, because no such son was born. The fates made it so.
Not a daughter of Metis.
No. Even the wisest goddess, the most powerful god, is subject to the fates. Maybe Zeus didn't really want to kill his own father. It's impossible to know. He couldn't ignore the story they wrote for him any more than I can. He will always be the king of the gods, he who overthrew Kronos. I will always be gray-eyed Athena, as vengeful as I am wise.
Because always the mortals challenge you.
And always the gods provoke my wrath.
And always you must answer.
Yes.
Must you?
Even if I could overrule the fates, if I could be kinder to the mortals who speak against the gods, if this is how I'm treated now,
I did not answer every challenge.
what would they think of me then?
Who would care at all for Zeus's gentle daughter?
If I am to keep any power at all,
You must prove your worth.
always.
Medusa, a woman with snakes for hair, prays to Athena, goddess of wisdom. During the scene, she absolutely never makes eye contact with the audience or with any of the chorus.
Medusa, cursed one.
Transformed into a monster.
By the goddess of wisdom for defiling her temple.
Any who gaze into your eyes are transformed to stone.
Hear me, Athena. I don't know what to do. I need your guidance.
Why do you pray to the one who has made you so monstrous?
A warrior approaches. Perseus. I know that he has come seeking my death.
You need not fear, for you can turn him to stone.
He has come for me, and so he will be prepared for my eyes. I won't surprise him easily.
Must you wait for him to come?
I could run, but I admit I do not see the merit of such a path.
If you do not fight, and you do not run, you will die.
I can't fight, and if I don't run, he will surely kill me.
Then you will run?
But why should I run?
You will live.
Why should I live?
Is your monstrous existence truly so terrible?
Weisz Athena, I know why you did this to me.
You and Poseidon defiled her temple with your passion. The shrine of a maiden goddess is no place for such things.
Such an act was an insult to you.
The greatest of insults.
You couldn't let such an insult go unpunished, but you also couldn't suitably punish Poseidon for the transgression.
What could Athena do to Poseidon, the Earthshaker?
He is a god, just like you.
What could she do to a god?
So, it had to be me,
It had to be you.
and I thank you for it.
You thank her?
You surely saw that I didn't want Poseidon, even though he wanted me. You saw that I didn't want to go into your temple with him, much less defile it with such an act, but
What could you do to a god?
there was nothing I could do.
And so she punished you.
You transformed me, Athena, and to anyone watching it must have looked like a punishment.
How could it be anything but a punishment?
But for me, it was something else. You gave me new power.
The power to turn others into stone?
I never need to fear a man again. No one wants to touch me now. But if any try when I don't want them, if he is close enough to touch me, he is close enough to look into my eyes.
And he is close enough to be turned into stone.
No man will ever come near me again if I don't want him to.
Yet you are considering letting Perseus come near enough to kill you.
Athena, your gift was a wise one, but I'm tired. I am protected from men who would hurt me, but by the same token, I am held apart from everyone else as well. I can have no friends, no companions, I have been so alone.
Such an isolated existence.
It's not that I want to die, but if I run, I would have to run forever. No inhabited place would let me enter, and I don't know if I would be able to find somewhere this isolated again. Please, Weisz Athena, give me your guidance one more time.
A faint noise off stage. Perseus is drawing closer. Medusa prays more fervently.
You must make your decision, Medusa.
Will you run?
I will not run. I will not be remembered as a coward. They will tell stories of a monster, yes, but they will remember too that I was powerful.
What will you do, strong one? Perseus comes.
Medusa looks up.
Let him come.
Pandora stands on stage, looking mildly confused, but not particularly worried. A member of the chorus steps forward, acting as a citizen of the town Pandora is in. Each time a citizen speaks, they are portrayed by a member of the chorus who steps forward. The citizens are amazed and shocked by this woman who has just suddenly appeared among them.
Who are you?
My name is Pandora.
Where did you come from?
I was sent by the gods.
For what purpose?
I don't know. They only told me that I should enter your city and make myself known to you.
You must have been sent as a gift, a reward from the gods for our dutiful worship.
A gift?
How could a creature as lovely as you be anything else? Come, be welcome here.
Pandora moves to join the citizens, but is stopped by one of the remaining non-citizen chorus, holding up a closed jar. Pandora falters.
You must not forget your own gift, Pandora.
What sort of gift is one that can't be opened?
But surely, this can be opened.
Zeus told me that I must not open it.
Why, that means that it can be opened, though.
Pandora hesitantly takes the jar. Her hand moves toward the lid, but she forcefully moves it away again.
No, I won't disobey him.
Why not?
It was he who ordered my creation. Without him, I wouldn't exist.
But what has he given to you?
He gave me this.
She gestures to the jar.
Did he give you a body?
No, Hephaestus made this body for me in his forge.
Did Zeus name you? Did he give you the power to think?
No, those were Hermes' gifts to me.
Who gave you desires?
Aphrodite did.
And who gave you clothes?
Athena did. Why do you ask all these questions?
And Zeus? He who created you? What did he give you?
He gave me this.
A jar that you are not permitted to open.
And such a desire to know what it contains.
Zeus gave Pandora insatiable curiosity.
It does seem strange when compared to the gifts from the others.
Why would he who ordered your creation not give you something as awesome as a form or a mind?
It wasn't the will of the fates, maybe?
Why would Zeus, king of the gods, leave those greatest of gifts to others?
I suppose it was his will.
Does this not seem like a punishment?
I don't know.
Why would he punish you?
I don't know. I don't understand.
How could you understand?
Why did he give me this?
We have a story in this town, Pandora. Will you hear it?
A story? Now?
No.
It is the story of the Titan, Prometheus. He created mankind as the gods created you.
Did he give his creations gifts?
He did. He wanted so badly for them to be happy that he stole fire from the gods to give it to them. For that, he had to be punished.
Zeus is not one for gifts, it seems.
He was chained to the top of a mountain. Every day an eagle was sent to tear at his body, and every night the wounds healed so that the eagle could return the next day. In this way, Prometheus was punished.
How awful.
But this was not enough. The mortals, you see, spurned the gods as well, and the eagle was a punishment for Prometheus, not for them.
Enough, enough! Why are you telling me this? Am I meant to see that Zeus's punishments are limitless and creative?
That is not why you must hear the story.
I don't understand.
You will.
Pandora looks down again at her jar. It seems to call to her.
I know so little about my creator, but the more I hear, the more terrible he seems.
The anger of mighty Zeus is legendary.
Why should I listen to the commands of a tyrant?
Why indeed?
He gave this to me. He could not truly have expected me to leave it sealed forever.
That would be unreasonable.
And I won't. I must know what it contains.
Bursting with anticipation, Pandora opens the jar. She immediately cries out as out of the jar flies countless horrors previously unknown to mortals. Greed, envy, vanity, deceit, despair. All manner of awful things escape the jar and fly across the stage. During this explosion of monstrosities, the citizens flee, eventually rejoining the chorus. Finally, with a shout, Pandora slams the lid back down on the jar. The last of the evils disappear off stage, and Pandora stands frozen in distress.
Oh, if I'd known what was inside, I never would have opened this. Zeus, why would you give me such a thing?
Why indeed?
I open it!
You do not know any better.
Zeus, he gave me the curiosity to know what was inside the jar.
The mortals seem well punished now, did they not?
Oh, the story!
Yes, the story of Prometheus and Pandora.
Oh, no.
Now you understand.
Helen and Cassandra sit on stage with the chorus. It is a domestic-looking scene, but a pall hangs over the room. One of the chorus steps forward as a servant.
The long war has ended, fair Helen, and you have been reunited with your husband, Menelaus, king of Sparta. Is this not cause for celebration?
Truly, it is.
Cassandra?
Do not try to convince me to be happy. Troy has fallen, my family is dead, and I have been brought to Greece to serve a leader of the men who destroyed my life. There is no happiness to be found for me here.
Oh, Cassandra.
Spare me your sympathy.
Helen shrinks away.
But you should be happy, Helen.
Do I not seem happy?
No.
The servant rejoins the chorus.
Perhaps she misses my brother. Do you miss Paris, Helen?
No, I am happy to be home with my husband.
Oh, does it please you then that my brother is dead?
No, of course not.
You could have stayed right here where you claim to be so happy, and Paris would still live. Troy would still stand if you had not been so foolish. Why did you run off with him in the first place?
I don't know. When I left, it seemed so important to be with Paris.
It must have.
From the moment I first saw him, I was pierced with love for him. It bloomed in my heart faster than a flower, and I was sure I couldn't be happy unless it was with him.
None can resist Aphrodite's power.
When he died, my love faded. Drained from me like there had been a veil over my eyes, and it suddenly fell away.
Am I to assume that you regret your actions now? I suppose you must feel quite terrible about what you caused. After all, it was for you that my brother started a 10-year war. For your sake that so many died. Because of your flight from Sparta, everyone I have ever loved is gone.
Yes! All of it is my fault. I don't know what I was thinking fleeing with Paris, and I don't know why I didn't return for so long. I love my husband. I do. I chose to be with him. In this one thing, I had a choice, and then I left. I don't understand what came over me, but I know that I should have been strong enough to resist it. I should have never left. I should have found a way home. All those people should have lived. If the fates demanded that someone must die, it should have been me!
Helen collapses, distraught. Cassandra is stunned. She meant for her words to elicit some guilt, but not like this. Until this moment, she did not believe that Helen really regretted anything. Cassandra reaches a hand toward Helen, but thinks better of it, and instead sits a few feet away from her. After a while, as Helen calms, Cassandra speaks.
You're not the only one who should have done things differently.
Helen looks up at her quizzically. This, too, is unexpected.
Did you know that I can see into the future? So you've heard that I'm insane.
Yes.
Believe what you will, but my prophecies are true. I foresaw the war. I foresaw the deaths, and I foresaw the reason for all the fighting.
Is that why, when I arrived, you ripped my veil and pulled my hair?
That was not one of my finest moments. I do feel bad about that.
You shouldn't. If I knew then what my presence would cause, I would have let you tear me to pieces. But if you foresaw all of those things, why didn't you say anything?
Who said you've heard the rumors about me? Who would believe the ramblings of a madwoman?
But if your visions came true...
I did. And I did try to warn my people. But no one listened. No one ever believes me.
No one ever will.
Why don't they believe you if you speak truly?
It's a curse. The Lord Apollo gifted me with the ability to see the future, and I thought it was a reward for my service to him as a faithful priestess of his temple. It
was not.
Instead, he expected something in exchange. Something that I wouldn't give to him. My years of worship didn't protect me from his anger. He had already given me the gift power of prophecy.
A gift once given cannot be taken away.
So, as punishment, he ensured that no one would believe me when I spoke of my visions.
Then this all could have been avoided if
not
me...
for my foolishness.
What?
I shouldn't have refused Lord Apollo. If I had let him, if I had just agreed to his terms, all of this could have been prevented.
But why should you have had to? You didn't promise an exchange. You said that he gave you your power freely as a gift.
I thought he did.
He had no right then to demand payment. That isn't how gifts work.
It's not my place to question the gods.
Then let it be my place. If the gods have ever done anything for me, I don't know about it. And I'm sure it was some meddling of theirs that made me love Paris in the first place.
Helen?
And in fact, it might have been their interference that made him love me in the first place.
The possibility cannot be discounted.
We must not blame the gods for our own follies.
But perhaps we must blame them for theirs. Apollo, Athena, Aphrodite, even Zeus. They are powerful, but not all powerful. Even they are ruled by the fates, just as we are. They're not perfect, just as we are not perfect. I see their hands in all of this death, all of this sorrow. It might have been a punishment, or it might have been a mistake.
Even with so much power, mistakes are always made.
Helen, I can't blame the gods for this war. It wasn't the gods who killed my family.
No. But it wasn't you either.
But if I had just...
You had not known how Apollo would get his revenge, or that he would have any reason to want it.
I could not have known. I have the gift of prophecy.
And did you see a vision of Apollo's demands?
No.
As I said, you could not have known.
Still, it was my decision that led to his revenge. I could have made a decision that prevented all of this. I tried to change the fate's plan for me, and look where it got us all.
If the fates can be overcome, then you are hardly wrong to try. And if they can't, then... all of this was meant to be. Either way, it wasn't your
But
fault.
how can you say that when there's been all this?
Cassandra, if you were really able to escape the fates, even for a moment, then they wouldn't be powerful enough to write a war into existence just to punish you. True? Is that true?
Yes.
And if you couldn't have escaped the fates, if such a thing is truly impossible, then all of this was meant to be, and none of it was your fault at all. Was it?
No.
It was not your fault.
It wasn't. It wasn't my fault.
And
Helen?
Yes?
If it wasn't my fault that Apollo punished me, then it wasn't your fault that you loved Paris.
I don't know if I really did love him.
All the more reason.
Cassandra,
I have the power of prophecy, and I couldn't see my own destiny. How could you have known what your flight would cause?
I couldn't have known.
No, it was not your fault.
It was not my fault.
When all of these things were first set into motion, we were just girls, both of us. I don't know who to blame for all of this, the gods or the fates, or even just the men who would go to war for want of a beautiful woman. But we never had any control of this story, no matter how hard we tried. If blame has to fall somewhere, let it fall on someone who really had the power to change this ending.
Not us.
Not us.
The two women share a moment. They might embrace, or hold hands, or make another physical connection, or they might not. End. Hi everyone, this is Lydia Wang, the director of the stage reading of Abby Sledge's Muse. Thank you so much for coming.